In this video, we're going to talk about the Labrador Sea. Now, when you hear that name, I bet you're picturing a remote, really harsh, icy place, right? And hey, you're not wrong, but that's just scratching the surface. You see, beneath that cold surface, there's a whole world that is absolutely vital to all of us. It's a place of just incredible beauty, teeming with life, and get this, it's actually a critical engine for our entire planet's climate. We're going to get into that. Alright, so let's get our bearings. Where is this place? Well, the Labrador Sea is this huge arm of the North Atlantic Ocean. It's kind of tucked right between Canada's Labrador Peninsula and Greenland. Think of it as the gateway between the Atlantic and the Arctic. And the sheer scale here is just mind-boggling. We're talking about an area of 841,000 square kilometers. That is one immense body of water. And it's not just wide, it is incredibly deep. I mean, yeah, it's shallower near the coast, but out in the middle, it plunges down to a staggering 4,360 meters at its deepest point. Let that sink in. That's over 4 kilometers straight down. So, no surprise here, it's cold. Really cold. The water temperature hangs out around a frigid -1 degree Celsius in the winter, and a lot of the sea is covered in ice. Even during that short summer, it only warms up to about 5 or 6 degrees. Brr. Okay, so we've got the picture, right? It's huge, it's deep, and it's relentlessly cold. It's really easy to think, well, nothing could possibly live there. But is it really just a bunch of cold, empty water? No way. Not even close. Beneath those waves, it's like a bustling metropolis for marine life. Seriously, it's a crucial feeding ground for whales like the sei and minke, and it's home to these massive populations of harp and hooded seals. The water is just packed with Atlantic salmon, cod, shrimp, and krill. You know, the stuff that forms the base of this whole vibrant food web. It even gets some really surprising visitors, like the endangered leatherback sea turtle. Who knew? And all that, life isn't just in the water. The coastlines support this really rugged and unique ecosystem all their own. You've got animals like the Labrador wolf, the Arctic fox, moose, black bears. The whole landscape is dotted with iconic plants too, like black spruce and Labrador tea, which, yep, people actually use to make herbal teas. So what about the human story here? Well, for decades, people have been drawn to the sea for its resources. It's a major shipping route, and, as you can see from this map, there's a ton of interest in its potential oil and gas reserves. In fact, some large fields of natural gas have already been discovered. But this has always been a place of immense danger. And this timeline really paints a picture of just how treacherous it is. For centuries, that mix of thick fog, rough seas, and those infamous drifting icebergs has made it a total nightmare for sailors. I mean, we're looking at just a few of the thousands of shipwrecks claimed by these shores. Everything from Royal Navy vessels to, and is a famous one, the last ship of the explorer Ernest Shackleton, the Quest. It went down right here in 1962. Okay, but beyond all the resources in the shipwrecks, the Labrador Sea plays this vital, kind of hidden role that affects every single one of us no matter where we live. It's a key engine for something called thermohaline circulation. You might have heard it called the ocean conveyor belt. Basically, what happens is the cold, salty water gets super dense, sinks deep into the ocean, and that sinking motion kicks off this massive global current that moves water, heat, and nutrients all around the globe. And the scale of this whole process is almost unbelievable. The chunk of water that forms right here, it's called the North Atlantic Deep Water, spreads out and becomes the largest single identifiable water mass on the entire planet. Just think about that for a second. It makes up nearly a fifth of the total water volume in all the world's oceans. A huge critical piece of the global ocean system gets its start right here. But, and this is a big but, this critical planetary engine is in trouble. The Labrador Sea is right on the front lines of climate change. We're talking warming waters, rapidly shrinking sea ice. It's also facing threats from pollution, plastics, industrial runoff, and the long-term effects of overfishing. But there is hope. It's coming from dedicated scientific research, from the incredible traditional knowledge of indigenous guardians, and from real efforts to create marine protected areas to help protect this absolutely vital ecosystem. Alright, let's wrap up with a few fascinating facts, because there are even more secrets hidden in these waters. For example, did you know that running along the bottom is one of the world's longest underwater channels? It's basically a 3,800 kilometer long riverbed under the sea. It even has its own tributaries. How cool is that? Here's another one. The water in the sea itself moves in this giant loop. It's this huge counterclockwise pattern where warmer, saltier water from the Atlantic flows north up the coast of Greenland, and the colder, less salty Arctic water flows south down the coast of Canada. It's like a giant slow-motion whirlpool. And its connection to the Arctic? Yeah, that's a world record holder. The Davis Strait, which is the bit that connects the Labrador Sea to Baffin Bay up north, is officially the broadest strait in the entire world. Pretty neat. And finally, you know all that infamous ice, the icebergs, the sea ice? Well, it's not just a hazard for ships. For the wildlife there, it is absolutely essential. The huge fields of drifting ice that form every winter become the perfect platform, a critical breeding and nursery ground for seals to have their pups in the spring. So when you put it all together, the main takeaway is this. The Labrador Sea is so much more than just some remote patch of icy water. It's a dynamic, surprisingly rich ecosystem and a critical regulator of our planet's climate. And that leaves us with a really big, urgent question to think about. As this vital sea continues to warm, are we truly prepared for the global consequences? Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.